Hey guys, this is Terrahz Gaming again, coming back for my third video here now. I'll be talking about my build and the amps that I took, so enjoy. PvP defense. Okay, now I didn't talk about any of the ability the amps there. What I'll do now is when I'm going on to my own build here, which you can search yourself if you're on WS base. If you search, you can go into Esper, PvE, Healer, and apply filter. Now I'll be honest with you now, I've looked at the other builds on this and I really don't like them. I think I gave comments on why I don't like them personally. Maybe the people didn't look into the classes before they wrote it down, or maybe they just jotted down anything, but in my opinion they're terrible. I wouldn't go off any other builds here. I would look into the class a lot better before taking up any of these other builds here. But the one that you want to look at if you're looking at my build is going to be Terrahz PvE build healer for Espers. If you click into it there, you'll see everything that I put down, as well as a description explaining why I chose the abilities, which is just in case you don't want to play and listen to my voice all over again. You can read it all here if you wanted, or you can copy and paste it onto your own things. You can look through it as you see, or you can just maybe put a comment on the here below, and you can tell me basically what you think, or if you disagree with something I put down. You can put that in the comments below, or you think maybe I was wrong about something. Again, it's a debate here now. You see, we don't know how it's going to play out until we actually get the game ourselves. Okay, so these are the abilities I've chosen now. My finisher that I've chosen was Collective Will, which I was talking about earlier, which is your AoE heal. I think that's essential for most healers now, especially if you don't have the second healer backing you up. That can cover the raid healing, mainly because you don't have any raid healing abilities. Your Warden is your only ability that can heal the raid or heal the group as a whole, and I don't think you can rely 100% on a Warden to heal everyone for a certain amount. I always like to have a backup, which is what Collective Will is about, having that backup AoE heal that you can just whack out and make sure everybody stays alive. Phantasmal Armor it's a definite move that you need to have. Builds that don't have it, I think they're going to be severely lacking. Again, this will stack with other abilities from a spell slinger and a medic, so you can't use them at the same time. Used properly though, you can probably use one ability after another and get all the effects from it, because the cooldown is so short that every time I use an ability and then he uses it and then the medic uses it, let's just say, my ability should be coming back up soon enough. So proper communication would be vital for these type of moves here. So if you're pugging it, maybe say first 30 seconds I'll use this, second 30 seconds next person goes. Pugging it's going to be a bit interesting how this ability is used, because during times where everybody's low, everybody's going to press these abilities. So it's going to have to be some sort of setup to when you use it. Again, I chose Soothe. I stacked it all the way up to tier 8, mainly because it restores additional healing on tier 8, so it puts a type of hot on them, and to get that reduced charge time, which basically means I can spam it a lot more, which actually I think will give me better healing than mind over body, and I can move at the same time. It gives me more options. I can instant cast it, I can charge it for a certain amount of time depending on how much healing I need as well, and it heals the two most injured allies. It's the people that you want to hit with that. The most injured allies that are beside the tank, mainly be DPS that are caught out by boss abilities, or the other tank that's out there, which is going to be great for you to use. I didn't actually say this before, I tiered up Collective Will to tier 5 because it's here. I've used all my remaining points after Warden on it, mainly because it's your only AoE heal, and I want it as strong as I possibly can, so when I use it I can make sure people are safe and will survive the whole amount. I've chosen to Mirage as well. We talked about that. I can put down a heal and people run into it for a big heal. I didn't put any sort of tiers into that either. I went to tiers into Warden, which we talk about as well, so I can basically it does so much over the 15 seconds, and then you put it straight back up and it does so much again. On death, grants a massive absorb to 5 nearby allies. That would be massive for tanks to have, especially with the tier 4 major upgrade as well. Increasing that resistance, that's a definite ability to avoid loads of damage to your tank, and I'm sure tanks will love to have you there for that one ability. And as well as melee DPS, because it affects 5 nearby allies every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. It's a massive ability to have. Utility tree, I went for the Dispel the Carthus, the Meditate, which we were talking about earlier, which is basically evocation for a mage, restores your mana back, and the Projected Spirit. Again, I might change this to Bolster, which is your heal over time spell. I'm not 100% sure until we get the final build out and I know how much they heal for, but I'm nearly sure I'll be going with Bolster when the patch actually comes out, or the game actually comes out. Amps wise, now my amps are a bit all over the place here, mainly because I was trying to get the best possible build with the points I could have. Okay, so I'll explain it here now. I'll explain first of all why I didn't get this move called Fixation. We were talking about that earlier. It's a massive move to have, especially for PvP. It'll be a massive move to have. Why I didn't choose it is because to get Fixation, it is down here. So I have to spend all these points to get all the way down here to get one ability. Now I think it's wasting because these are what you have to use your amps for: increasing your sprint capacity, decreasing the duration of CCs, increasing your shield capacity, increasing movement speed. So basically makes you, I think if you're good enough at PvE, you will not need these abilities. If you're good enough, if you get caught out a lot, or maybe you're not as good as other players, by all means go down this. You will be sacrificing healing to get this, but you can go down there. You can increase your movement speed. Maybe if you're caught off guard, you can get to places quicker, out of telegraphs quicker. I am not going to choose it. I think I'm a good enough player that if I do get caught, I'll take it on myself and I'll learn from it, and I won't get caught again. So I don't think it's going to be viable to get all the way down here. The Fixation, waste all these points for endgame raiding. Not if you're a serious raider anyway. Okay, so I went down into the support tree here for the focus recovery. I went over here to hard hit. Now again, this brilliant tank heal is because increase your target's deflect to attack. Like, it's a chance to basically increase your target's deflect. So if I'm healing a tank, it'll increase his deflection rating, which means he takes less damage. And as well, if you tiered up to the top one, to Healer's Gift here, every time he actually deflects while your hard to hit is active, it'll actually heal him for a certain amount. So again, it's amazing for tanks what cooldowns Espers have to keep them alive. I won't see anybody coming near an Esper to keeping tanks alive. They just seem to be the bread and butter of it. Reduce focus costs, your spells, again, it's a needed thing for Espers. I think you're going to be a spamming class, so you're going to need to do as much as you can to reduce the mana cost of your abilities. There's a build up here, and I wasn't a massive sure of when I was going to pick this. This is 100% if you're a tank healer and only tank healers. When you have 3 stacks on the tank, you build up 1 stack per ability you use on the tank. So every time you use Mind Over Body or Soothe or Bolster on the tank, it'll give him 1 stack. When you have 3, every additional heal after that, you'll actually heal for more than your previous heal. You know, you'll heal a set amount more than your heals before you had 3 stacks. So this is an interesting ability. If you're main tank healing, this would be an awesome ability to have, because you'd be healing tank all the time. Those 3 stacks will always be up. We don't know how long the 3 stacks last. Do they last for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute? We don't know that. Again, that will affect if a lot of people choose this ability or not. I personally will choose it, especially because my guild has already said I'll probably be the main tank healer as an Esper. So this is an amazing ability to have. Again, keeping tanks alive is an Esper's job. Like, you can see it all the way through this video. We just built to keep those tanks up. Again, I went into cooldown reduction here. Increase your support power. Now, support power is your base power to increase your healing spells. It's a definite thing to have here. What did I not go into here? When you critically heal a target, they gain a percentage absorption shield. I didn't go into that mainly because the power cost is 5. Okay, for those of you that don't know, different abilities, depending how strong Wildstar think they are, they cost you more power. So you have a basic 45 power that you can use here to stack into all your abilities. Some abilities cost 1 power, some will cost 2, some will cost 3, and again will cost 5. I didn't choose that. It's an amazing ability to have, but the fact that it costs 5 power, I didn't choose to take it. Not until I know how much absorb it does give off the shield. Again, we don't know off this side. We don't know until the final game is released. That could be an ability I'd change to, but we will see when the time comes. What I didn't choose here was increases your focus by a certain number. Why I didn't choose that is mainly because you have meditate. So if you use meditate properly, your focus is going to go down and up and down and up. I don't think having a starting, an extra 200 focus is going to be a massive deal to have. Not compared to other things you can get off this tree, or off these trees. We're going to have to see anyway how it pans out. Healing touch didn't go for it either. Support finished on a lot, but though 30% your heal. Great for tank healing abilities. Again, power cost 4. It's a massive power cost. I didn't think it was worth it. I don't want my tank to ever drop below 30% health. With everything I have, he shouldn't unless he makes a massive mistake. And if I am tank healing, I'm going to have that ability focus relief to give me a big heal on top of the tank anyway. So I'll be using that. He won't be below 30% and he'll get a massive heal. I don't think you'll need this for those times. Not at a power cost of 4. If they reduce it, maybe, but not at a power cost of 4. Now, I didn't go into the utility tree, obviously not the PvP trees. The utility tree is useless, like I was talking about earlier. I just think it's a waste of talents. I went to the assault tree. Now, people think that you're a healer and you don't go to the assault tree. The reason I went into this, I didn't go for damage. What I went for is crit chance and critical hit chance. There's a lot of crit in this build, and I think, especially as a tank healer, you will need a lot of crit. And this is your bread and butter right here. You get 2 points in crit, you get 3 points here in crit, and it opens up your hybrid spec. This is a good move to have now. What I have here is dash increases your magical damage dealt and outgoing healing. Now, I don't know if I'll pick this just yet. I think I still will when the game comes out. But until we know what percentage it has, basically you can do a quick sprint and you gain a certain amount of healing increase. So if you use that properly, you should always have this healing increase, because it lasts for a certain amount of seconds. You don't know how many seconds yet, but if you just sprint for a minimal amount and then use your heal, you should its uptime should be at least 80%, if not higher. I would even go for maybe 90% or higher throughout the game. So it depends how much the outgoing healing is. Increased dash token regeneration. I think there was nothing else I could choose here. Again, maybe dashes might be decent enough to have. I think if you play properly, you won't need increased dash token regeneration, but I suppose it's good to have just in case you don't know fights or you're clearing content and you don't know what you're doing and you need to react quickly and react more often because you're out of place more because you don't know what you're doing. Again, you needed it anyway to get onto the next part of this, onto the tree anyway. Taking damage has a percentage chance to generate a psi point. I think this would be great in boss fights, especially in raids, because usually in raids it does raid damage, and that means every time you take raid damage by small damage or big damage, you're gonna have a chance to get this psi point, and you don't know how many times you can get this psi point. Like, we won't know. It's all about testing it, how many psi points you can get in 5 minutes if a boss is continually type of hitting you with AoE. It could be very beneficial, it could be absolutely nothing. We won't know now until the ability comes out, but I went for it anyway here. And again, the last thing in the tree, again, more critical hit chance and critical hit severity. For those who don't know what severity is, it basically increases the amount that you crit for. So your crits actually hit for bigger amounts. They don't hit more often, they just hit for bigger amounts. So that is why I went into all these trees. Again, I went from all my description there. You can skip to any part of the video as you talk about it. I'll try to put some links below so you can see what part I'm talking about where. Just so you can skip to, because it is a long video. What's it, 45 minutes I have here now? It's probably going to be less when I edit it down. Again, it's Terrahz here. I'm going from Kyrm Gaming. I have all the links down below if you want to check any of them out. These are the builds here. You can create them, you can post them up. If you want to post them up and for me to have a look over them, just let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on the guild website and I'll have a quick look into it. I'll give you a few overview on what I think of it, what I think is good and bad about it. I won't go into too much detail, obviously, because we don't know the final stats here, but I'll give you just my thoughts on it anyway, and everybody else can give you your thoughts, and you can kind of know what you're doing going into the game, which is the main thing, and you can try it out in beta when it comes out. Again, any questions, put them below, and good luck until my next video.